What's good, people? It's your boy Twale here to bring you a review for Kingdom, chapter 602, entitled Riboku's Formation. This chapter started off with the Haishin unit supposedly sprinting at the Zhao's left wing like bats out of hell. You see a really nice panel of some fodder Haishin unit members just screaming, looking like the quote-unquote demons following their general. It looks dope. Then you get I was about to call him Sosui, Dene, Denyu, Bihei, and a bunch of the Haishin unit veterans. They're carving their way through the Zhao left wing, just going full steam ahead. You got Shin leading the charge. You got Sugin doing his thing. So basically, it's just a continuation of where we left off in terms of how the battlefield is going. Shin and them are just cleaving through. They even make a note that, like in the little editor's note, to say that Akko has fallen, Uhong was defeated, and the commander on this most pivotal final day is Shin in the Haishin unit. So I don't know if that means Akko died, because it says it didn't say Akko was defeated. It said Akko has fallen. So I don't know if that's Hara's way of saying Akko died, like he succumbed to his wounds and died in the middle of battle, and we just haven't been told that explicitly, because it would ruin, it would completely kill the Akko army's morale. So I'm hoping that that's not the case, because I do like Akko. I do want to see him in future arcs, but if he did die, I would see that being the only reason why it wasn't just blatantly stated that he died, you know what I'm saying, in his tent or something like that. We get a quick panel, or a quick little blurb of one of Karyo Ten's HQ guys asking her, is it okay that the unit is just going full steam ahead, guns a-blazing? And she tells them not only is it okay, but it's their only true option, because the plan is for them to hit Riboku from the left, after they break through the Zhao left wing, and then from there with the Osen army, pincer them and then destroy them. And as she's telling her men this, they all start to hear a sound from over in Osen's direction, over in the center army's direction. And then we shuffle over to Denrimi, and he and his 10,000 men are not waiting for Shin in the Haishin unit. They're just gonna start the attack on Riboku right now. And Karyo Ten explains that there's two, with the board being the way it is, that there's two ways that they can tackle it. They can have the Haishin unit attack first, have Osen wait for the Haishin unit to break through and then attack Riboku, and then have his army attack Riboku while Riboku is dealing with Shin and them. Or he can attack Riboku from head on and then leave the killing strike on taking Riboku's head to the Haishin unit. And since Denrimi and them have already engaged and already begun, that's what Osen has changed the plan to. It's no longer Shin and them being the distraction for Osen and his army to be the main hitters. It's now Osen and his army are the distraction, and Shin and his army will be the main force to take out Riboku. So after that, we shift over to Denrimi for good. Now, the first thing he does is, after he gets into formation, he sends out his infantry and he tells them do the fourfold formation. They run up into Riboku's formation and get completely stonewalled. Some of them even tried to jump over top like Shin did during the Dukin Plains battle with Dukio was our commanding general, and he jumped over the front line and started killing them from the inside. Some of them tried to do that, and they got stabbed as soon as they tried to climb over. And for the most part, no one was able to get through it. There was no budging. There was no weak points in Riboku's defensive formation. And that's what we come to find out is, well, we've always known that defense is Riboku's bread and butter, but it's been like he even stated it more so, like, if all we have to do is wait them out and defend, then there's nothing that they can do. Even if Shin and them manage to break through, we will just weather any storm and defend, because that's, you know what I'm saying, that's his army specialty. Remember back in what was it, the battle of Bayou, and when they was discussing who would be the overall commander, whether it be Mobile or Oki, and they overall chose Oki because he's more balanced in, like, he has talent in offense and defensive strategies, and Mobile was strictly offensive. It seems like with the grid formation that he set up in the Western Zhao region, the city of Retsubi having that weird, that weird hiccup with its city, that it makes it hard to hold and maintain. And with the defenses that Gyou has, because it was stated that Riboku was the one that did the renovations to Gyou. So with all of that, it seems like Riboku is the complete opposite of Mobile, where Mobile is offensive oriented, like almost exclusively. It seems like Riboku is defensive oriented to a heavy degree, a very heavy degree, and he excels in defense. So back to the chapter, Denrimi sees that his initial wave of infantry got stonewalled, so he sent in his cavalry using the waving snake formation or something like that. And you just see like a panel of his cavalry like snaking towards Riboku. And this is something that I thought was really fucking cool. How one of Riboku's like unnamed grunts, like he like just somebody that was just there, was like, yo, they're coming at us with a wave attack. All right, weaken that area, 2, 5, 19, like wherever the wave was gonna hit, like they pinpointed within seconds, like, all right, 2, 5, 19, 23, 29, like ready all of those areas up, weaken the middle. Like, he's like soften the middle, strengthen up those areas, and hit them with the stalling formation or some shit. And that was cool as fuck. Like, we all know that Riboku is no scrub. We all know that his men are like his direct men, his army is no scrub. You know what I'm saying? We know this, but I think this is like the first time that we've actually seen Riboku's army in an actual fight. Because if I'm not mistaken, the Battle of Bayou, that was Hoken's quote-unquote army with all those Zhao generals controlling everything, like the pig guy and Mangoku and what's his Kosen Ryu. Like, they were the ones that were controlling the overall like truth, the troops and the troop formations and things like that. And Riboku just came in at the very end when what's his name? When Oki got caught. So, boom, his army didn't fight then. All we really seen was a couple, like the front line unit get cut up by Toe, and then that one guy who was a Tenbo who shot Oki. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all we really seen of his army. Every other time, if I'm not mistaken, it was mostly Kesha's men, because even during the coalition, I don't know if that was like Kane and Fute were there, but I don't know if that was like the Riboku army that we're seeing now, because they like, or maybe it's just that they're not good at offense. I don't know, because the way it's seeming here, and the way So was making it seem like their knowledge of warfare runs deep, and these guys are not gonna be easy opponents. Like, yeah, we knew that, but at the same time, like, and not to harp on this too long, but these are the same niggas that lost to untrained civilians. It has to be a different army. I'm gonna assume that the army Riboku fought with during the coalition at the battle side were Kesha's men. Some, you know what I'm saying, some troops that he got from Kesha, because Kesha was the one leading the Zhao forces and the one trickling off people from their side to go to the southern path. So I'm gonna say that those were Kesha's men and not Riboku's direct army. But yeah, this is the first time we've seen Riboku's army like in trench warfare against another army. Like, it was either him sieging a city or him just pulling up at the very end. Even when we saw him fight Gekishin, and he had the whole like fake HQ in front of him, and then like his real HQ was to the side, there was never a point in which his men his men had to fight. The only time we actually seen his men fight another army on the field was when they did the whole Ryodu thing with the flowing, like the whirlwind thing against Gyou. That was the only time we seen his men actually on the ground fighting another army. And we, like I said, we didn't really get to see a lot from that. But this was really fucking cool, seeing his men pinpoint certain locations, like Kinmo said, they instantly, like they saw the waving snake formation, read it, like saw it out, and instantly knew where to shore up and where to like boost up their defense, to the point where Riboku tells them, like, yeah, that's nothing to be hype about. That's basic shit for my army. As long as we defend, and as long as we defend, we can weather any storm. And right as he says that shit, they get an urgent top priority message from Gyou. Now, it still kills me. How the fuck are they getting messages out of the city? Like, are they literally lowering the drawbridge, letting somebody out, and Kanki's men are not do? Like, how is this message getting out of the city? Like, whether it be by bird, I hope it must be by bird then. Like, I guess I don't know. I want to see how this fucking message is getting out. Because there should be no way that you motherfuckers is getting the actual fucking foot soldier or cavalrymen out of the city without Kanki and them rushing the city. So, Riboku and them get the urgent report from Gyou, and we don't even get Riboku's, like, we get his reaction to hearing that there's news from Gyou, but we don't get his reaction to the actual news of Gyou having its food burned, and well, no, the day just started, so I don't think Kanki took the city yet, but Kanki most likely will take the city today. Like, they have no way of holding out. They have no way of holding out the Kanki army with the city fighting itself, with the refugees needing food, with the soldiers on the walls needing food. Like, they're literally starving from the inside, and I don't think civilians and refugees are as like resilient and hardy as, say, like war commanders and shit like that. So them going 2-3 days without fighting and still 2-3 days without eating and still being able to fight might not work out as good as, say, Shin and them going 2 or 3 days without eating and still being able to fight. So, Riboku gets the news, and we shift over to Soho. Well, I kind of already said this part, but we shift over to Soho, and he notices that not only did their enemies pick up on Denrimi's the wave snake formation, but it wasn't even Riboku that gave any orders or any signals. It was the foot soldiers on the battleground. It was the unnamed fodder officers who was able to pick up and pinpoint shit. So he, you know what I'm saying, internally monologuing in his head, like, yo, their knowledge of warfare runs deep. These are not going to be easy opponents. And then you see Denrimi getting his archer teams into position, and then like that, Riboku switches from a defensive formation to an offensive formation, and So-Oh notices this, Denrimi notices this, and Osen notices this, but all Osen says is fu. So, you know what? Osen probably knows that they just got the news about Gyou, and now we're going to see Osen's version of defense, because we've seen Osen's style defense from Akko, but I guarantee you it will be 2 times to 3 times better coming from Osen himself and Osen's personal 10,000 men. Because while what Riboku's men did was impressive and it was cool, in my opinion, it's still not on the level of what Akko did. Akko took on 3 full armies with Banaji and Gyou as their figureheads. You know what I'm saying? And these two guys are known for being martial might monsters. And Denrimi didn't seem to have anybody like that. It's just Denrimi and So-Oh, and that one guy on So-Oh's team that kind of has like the fish fin helmet. He's like a spear wielder. He has a weird helmet. It might be a girl, actually. I'm not even sure. But like, it doesn't seem like Denrimi sent out any like heavy hitters and got stonewalled. And I'm not trying to like downplay what Riboku did and what Riboku's army did. But if you had to like compare the two, the Akko thing is still more impressive because again he stopped Gyou, Banaji, and Chogaryu, and it was only due to help from Riboku that they were even able to break through the formation. So in terms of defense, Osen might be Osen might be Riboku's equivalent when it comes to defense. I'm not too sure about either one of their offensive capabilities because while we know they're great generals, it hasn't been explicitly shown like these guys are just martially, like their army. Well, Akko, I guess, and Banaji would be like their martial power, and then like the head commanders themselves would be the defense. But I still want to see more from their personal armies. And that was really the chapter. We didn't get anything from Gyou, Akko, Uhon. We didn't get anything from Banaji. We didn't get anything from Fute Akane or anything like that. All we got was the High Shin unit sprinting out. As soon as the sun rose, they sprinted out. Ten was telling her men about the two options of the battle that they had. Either one, Osen would attack and then the High Shin unit would flank, or two, the High Shin unit would attack and then Osen would come in. Denrimi got stonewalled twice. First his fourfold formation with his infantry, then his snake wave formation with his cavalry. And then Riboku gets the news about Gyou, and then he switches to offense. And my predictions for next chapter, honestly, I think, like I kind of said this a couple weeks ago, that Riboku was gonna he was gonna be winning the initial clashes, but he was gonna get the news about Gyou, do something uncharacteristic, and fuck up. Now he told his men in this chapter, as long as we defend, we can weather any storm. It doesn't even matter if Shin and them come and attack us from the left. If Gyou and them fail and Shin and them come attack us from the left, that doesn't matter because my defense is A1 day one. As long as we on defense, we good. And then he switches to offense. So him switching to offense is almost guaranteeing that Shin's pincer attack, or the High Shin unit's pincer attack, will do heavy damage. Now, we all know that Hoken is somewhere in the forest or near the battlefield lurking. So we know that probably almost as soon as Shin and them break in with that pincer, Shin will have to duel Hoken and Shin will have to fight Hoken. Like, we know this. But, again, Riboku switching to offense, not only gives Shin, like Shin's pincer technique is gonna work. The High Shin unit, even if Shin is dueling Hoken and Kyokai and Ten are leading the actual troops to damage the army, I can see that happening. Riboku going on the offense now leaves him vulnerable, even if it's only by like 10%, leaves him vulnerable to fucking up, because offense is not his bread and butter, defense is. So I really want to see how things play out now that things have kind of flipped, where Riboku is on the offense and now Osen and his men are going to shift to defense most likely, because I'm pretty sure Osen knows why Riboku is making these type of moves. Like, okay, you was just stonewalling us and winning on the defensive end, and then you snap in the offense because you need to get to Gyou right now. You don't have another day. You don't have another hour. You need to get to Gyou right now. Because even once they get past Osen and them, wipe them out to the last man, right? They still gonna have to fight Konki's men once they get there. So they need to get to Gyou right now. They don't have the time to waste, and they need to get there. So that's most likely what Osen is thinking and why Riboku switched to offense. That's pretty much it. That was the chapter. Like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Peace.